Hello and welcome to more Bloodborne for snapcontroller.com. And in the last episode we entered the doorway in the lecture building, and that took us to this area, this barren, evil, dogshit landscape called the Nightmare Frontier, which which was an area where I entered with 38,000 blood echoes. So, as was my wont, I decided to not go any further and run away with my gained experience. And instead I went on to Bergenworth, where I hadn't actually done any exploring. And Bergenworth is chock full of the Poddington P insect freaks. They're not super tough. I mean, they pack a punch, but you know, 4 hits and they're down. You can stagger them. There's not much to them at all. Although, having said that, when you do fight them, they have got a rather nifty attack that can get you. That jump attack. That way, you make sure you avoid it. Obviously, if you don't avoid it, they land on your head and then hump you. And they hump you into a frenzy. I learned something else in Bergenworth. The sedatives are what counteracts frenzy, which is good. Also clothing that's good against frenzy. Went with that, and then saw a freaky enemy, and then got scared shitless by 2 of the Poddington P things dropping down on me. Gladly, the giant thing didn't come and attack me while I had to deal with the 2 Poddington P flies, but eventually it did. And yeah, it's just a giant vagina with teeth. Freak grabs hold of you and it just starts munching down. Fortunately, quite simple to get behind, and so all you do is get yourself behind it. It's very slow to turn, and it doesn't have any attack, or it didn't attack me in any way with any of its back legs or anything from behind. It's all front facing and very easy to navigate around. So I did, and killed it. This is a very small area, Bergenworth. It's basically a big house, and inside the house there's another dirty hunter. This one's got a little bit of arcane, which surprised me, especially when he did the old little firework attack there. I did my best against him, got him down to a fair old whack, but he bested me in the end, which isn't surprising, because I'm not as technically skilled as some Bloodborne players. And yeah, pain in the arse. He's got his eyes covered, so he's obviously got some high insight. I went to get some more blood vials because I was out, so I was going through the chapel, and I noticed that the old lady was being kind to me now. She's all like, "Oh, don't worry. Oh, you poor thing. This will help you forget. Oh, lovely." She's not like moaning at me anymore or crying or any of that. I wonder if it's because I killed Isafaka. I think it might be. I think that might be something to do with it. Who knows? Anyway, back to the hunter. Got him in the end. It turns out if you get in fairly close to him and give him a few good hearty smacks, he's doesn't really have any sort of counteract for it. And at the top of the building there's this crazy old guy in a chair, and if you speak to him he points to the end of the pier thing. So I thought, well, fuck it. That's the way he's pointing. I'm jumping in. So I did. Geronimo! Of course, in there is a boss, and it's Rom. Rom the vacuous spider. Doesn't look anything like a spider, it's just a big fat slug thing with glow sticks on his back. And I wish I'd have known how to kill him the first time around, because you can get nice and close. He doesn't do anything. You can walk around him, you can have an inspection, but the fool that I am, I went with my tried and trusted chuck a bit of oil, chuck a bit of fire, and it didn't really do a lot of damage. It's much better to get stuck in with Tonturus or another lightning based tough weapon. And of course as soon as you attack, down come his little friends, and despite not having much life, you can't attack them from the front very effectively, and there are a lot of them, and they obviously respawn a couple of times depending on how low Rom's health is. So yeah, massive pain in the arse. Good one, Ian. And they do a fair amount of damage. I mean, not just their normal attacks from the front, but they've got a pouncing attack that is fairly devastating. So if you ignore them and go for Rom himself, then you must be wary of the attacks from the side, because despite being able to get round to Rom fairly simply, even if I am still doing the Urn and Molotov bullshit tactic, if you don't pay any attention to the small spiders, they will come and they will get you. In my future, I can't begin to explain to you how many times I fought this boss. Between this take of the first time I met him and the take where I actually killed him, it was this is the one I've had the most trouble with, even more so than the cleric, because every time I got him down to quite low life, and then for some reason I don't see that one attack dead. Those jumping attacks pretty devastating. But in the end, the tactic is simple: get rid of the small spiders. Rom, not that powerful when he's on his own. Bit of Tonturus, get yourself stuck in. Make sure you attack him rather than the space around him with stupid tactics. But yeah, he's got only a few attacks, and they're pretty easy to telegraph. Even though I don't, in this final clip, I still get hit by the close range attack because I'm pounding buttons rather than concentrating on a few attacks and then getting in and out. But yeah, kill the small spiders, kill Rom, and then it's done. Sorry this has been a short video with not a lot going on. The next one will be double length. I've already recorded it, so you'll enjoy it, I'm sure. And if you don't, I don't know what to tell you. Go and look at something else. Some cool videos online. There's this one about a kid getting bitten. Bye.